Dime qué tú quieres, papi.
Because I'm gonna slide up in the algorithm and I'm gonna fuck it. Yo, like this is crazy. This nigga is crazy. Like, no, really, he's crazy. Oh my fucking God.
Yeah, this is what it is. It's what it is. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. I done played the block and it's time to stop. Pop the blocks, then drop the top. Button how to say fuck the cops. They keep it hot up on my block. Keep it not up in my pocket. You know the G and it can't be stopped. Flip the script with serving gifts. Keep the heat on Silent Hill. You know when I know that pure water just so cold. Riding on boats, slamming wood dough. Sipping on drink, fucking these hoes. Riding on boats, pushing kilos. Me and my boys ball out of control. Got so much ice you can balance a bowl. Me, Lil G, I can't be hoe. Look at my mouth, see number go. Fuck with a knife, we'll make you fold. Look at my room, see number polo. Step in the bed and in the studio. Over your nose and smell of smoke. Over your mouth and start to blow. Now you know we got that dope. Cause me and my boys ball out of control. We keyed up and G'd up. We should've lost straight speed up. We should've decided to pull my heat up. Lost things going big, I'm fucked up. Nigga, we keyed up and G'd up. Once you lost straight speed up. We should've decided to pull my heat up. Lost things going back, I'm fucked up. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle.
Hitting niggas in they fucking head with a crack. Bustin', I'm bustin' back with a gap that spits venom. You sitting black. And when the bottom of the knife and it's smack, Iblis,
the cat's waxing him back.
Cause he ain't suffered enough, hustled enough, scuffling cuff his hand to a cop, nothing discussed, cutting his nuts to his cock. Something to shock a spark out your heart when you stop jogging in the park. And you meet a nigga dog that fighting ball, blood spilling on the sidewalk. Staying in the light is smart despite staying on course, of course, cause the smell of death escaping out of corpse is rough. Top half man and I be damned if they bottom half horse. Hush, lost souls rushing to touch the black hole, wishing to be dust gagging and fuss, cause the demon face leaking bust.
All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. Trapping and rapping ain't about the hustle. I don't wanna tussle. All trapping and rapping ain't about the hustle. I don't wanna tussle. Out.
Choose your destiny.
Don't rap angry.
Time to raise the bar. I'm finna set the pace. Straight gangsterism like my homie Mr. Scarface. Come step in our place, we treat you like a car chase. On you niggas bumpers, keep it jumping over far states. Buy out the bar, great your money like a shirt date. Call you strawberry cause I eat you like a shirt cake. Your click is bird cake, the other half is shark bait. Swimming through my water, meet your slaughter on this dark day. You niggas start late, I beat you out the starting gate. By the time you finish the race, I'm at my place watching Martin Lake. Those under par hate my lyrics and my star shape, but it's not for nothing, I keep busting till a war break. I'm a hustler, use a bitch fraud and I'm a muscle, yeah. I keep my shit hard for my customers. I'm a hustler, use a bitch fraud and I'm a muscle, yeah. I keep my shit hard for my customers. I'm a hustler, use a bitch fraud and I'm a muscle, yeah. I keep my shit hard for my customers. I'm a hustler, use a bitch fraud and I'm a muscle, yeah. I keep my shit hard for my customers.
I'm a forever grind. I got them clever rhymes. My shit toxic, burn like betadine. He wanna hit the lab, the nigga got it bad. Pop shit, spit, tell that nigga never mind. My ice blind and shine, you said that 7 times. Hit the light switch, come up with some better lines. Don't trip, this is not rap shit. This is life, bitch, strike quick with the force that sever minds. You niggas get your math, you better watch your path. Cause this ag ass nigga bout to make a splash. You pussy niggas stink and need to take a bath. Heed what I speak, JC reach out and touch your slacker ass. Copy men can't comprehend shit. I'ma have to make them stay after class. Go ahead and follow the fad. Use a hoe. Maybe now you can have a reality show. How to act a ass. I want the industry to stay mad at me. Rip your spine out your back. Fatality. Stop your cardiac automatically. I'm a hustler, use a bitch fraud and I'ma muscle ya. Keep my shit hard for my customers. I'm a hustler, use a bitch fraud and I'ma muscle ya. Keep my shit hard for my customers. I'm a hustler, use a bitch fraud and I'ma muscle ya. Keep my shit hard for my customers. I'm a hustler, use a bitch fraud and I'ma muscle ya. Keep my shit hard for my customers.
Hey, what's going on, brother?
Deal.
How you feel, man?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Little had a few drinks, so
Uh,
kind of little laid back right now.
that's cool, cause I had one. I had a drink too. I started to have another one, but then I was like, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna go buy a bottle tomorrow, cause I feel like I just be getting ripped off at the bar.
Yeah, I think it'd be better off getting you a bottle.
Yeah,
That's always gonna be cheaper.
yeah. I don't like wasting my money. That's all. It's okay to have a good time or whatever. I just don't. It feels funny when I feel some kind of way when I feel like I wasted the money. And having a drink or two at the bar, I think is okay. But like, having multiple drinks, buying the bar, I feel like you're wasting your money. I don't care how much money you have.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it just kind of depends. I ain't never bought no bar, but just being out, what I'm saying, paying for the experience, I guess you can say, like chilling with people in a good atmosphere might be worth it sometimes.
Yeah,
But
sometimes.
but shoot, I'm a bottle guy. I will get my bottle.
And that's the way to go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The title of the show today is How Long Will the Good Guy Last? Because it's kind of like that trope that I always go back to, how the superhero turns into the villain. And I just feel like the world, the society that we live in, the way it's set up to turn, it's to turn a good guy into a villain, man. If he lives long enough.
Well, I think there lives a duality because I mean you're still a superhero. You know what I'm saying? You just because of certain things, you just develop like a little, well, it's not a scab, but like tougher skin. You don't do certain things you wouldn't. Once you learn get to a certain level, there's no other way to go. I mean, knowledge is gonna send you to where you're gonna have to look at it a different way. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna develop that some a bit of a callous, shall I say, based on everything that go around, or if not, I mean, if you stay the good guy, yeah, you know, if you don't ever make that upgrade, yeah, you bound to lose out.
And it's just like inevitable. I think this to be interesting to you. IRS announces 2022 mileage reimbursement rate. So here are the 2022 IRS mileage reimbursement rates for businesses, individuals, and other organizations. 58.5 cents per mile driven for business use. This is an increase of 2.5 cents from the 2021 rate. 18 cents per mile driven for medical or moving purposes for qualified active duty members of the armed forces. This is up by 2 cents from the 2021 rate. 14 cents per mile driven in service of charitable organizations. Because the rate is set by a statute, it has changed from the 2021 rate. Effective date, January 1st, 2022.
Oh, so this not gonna backtrack for last year or this year. Like you won't be able to use it for this year. It's just next tax season you'll be able to use it.
Yeah. Yeah. So meanwhile, inflation is going crazy and they're giving you 3 cents on your gas. Woohoo! Thanks very much.
Well, might add up to quite a bit for me.
Yeah.
But
yeah, but still, the damn inflation is gonna eat it. The inflation's gonna eat it.
oh, it's already eating it.
Yep.
Shoot, you know how much I spend a week in fuel?
Yeah. Yeah. I know them gas prices been crazy lately.
Well, look at the green side. The green side, that diesel. Shoot, man. In some areas, because I mean here in Texas it's pretty cheap, or you know, in the one of the lower ranges of pricing. Shit, you get up into the Northeast, you might be paying shit damn near $4 a gallon, or maybe a little bit over. Shoot, I think I bought $3.45 here in Texas. I done seen $3.75, $3.59, you know, $3.99, $3.89. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. It says the 10 Senate seats most likely to flip in 2022. I think the Republicans are going to clean the fuck up. Let's see what they say. It'd be nice if they just did a. Oh shit! What the fuck did they do? A short ass. Oh, they're gonna make me. What are they doing? Okay, let me see. Hold on. Continue reading. Okay, I got it. Hopefully, let's see. Rising inflation. Look, let me just read a bit of this. As the calendar turns to 2022, Senate races are about to kick into much higher gear, with ad spending increasing ahead of the first primaries in May, and just a few more fundraising quarters for candidates to prove they're serious. The biggest storyline to watching heading into 2022 is the resolution of contested GOP primaries. In at least 6 of the 10 states on the list, Republicans are facing unsettling fields, some more problematic more than others, that may go a long way toward shaping their ability to harness a favorable political environment. So they're kind of saying the opposite of what I'm saying. Let's see. Developed in these states over the past months have been a mix for GOP. Some Republicans feel they have dodged a bullet in Pennsylvania, where the candidate back from former President Donald Trump dropped out. But in New Hampshire, they're disappointed the governor isn't running for Senate. The power of the ex-president's endorsement is still an open question in some places, but as Republicans across the country scramble for his blessing, primaries look very much like Trump loyalty contests of 2018 and 2020, except with the added and increasingly dangerous litmus test of election denialism. Oh, wow, that was a mouthful. Candidates are repeating various versions of Trump's lies about fraud in the 2020 election to curry favor with the former commander-in-chief. Let's see. But as elections in Virginia and New Jersey last month showed, the national environment is significantly worse for Democrats than it was just months after President Joe Biden's victory and after Democrats flipped 2 Georgia Senate seats. Rising inflation and a pandemic that is once again raising questions about America's ability to gather this holiday season are contributing to a gloomy mood that's overshadowed any enthusiasm about Washington having passed a bipartisan infrastructure deal. Yeah, nobody's even talking. Nobody gives a fuck about that shit.
Well, I think of them been gutted so much and talked down, like all their excitement is gone. But
it was a big corporate giveaway anyway. So there's nobody. Only the corporations excited about that shit. The people not excited about that shit.
Yeah.
So they're talking about Pennsylvania. The incumbent Republican Pat Toomey is retiring. Let's go through the list. Georgia, incumbent Democrat Raphael Warnock. They're going to have trouble over there.
Oh, Warnock?
Yeah, Warnock. That's for Senate. I know that what's her name is going to run for governor. I think she's gonna run for the Senate seat. Oh yeah, I think that is it. What's her name? The one who lost when she ran for governor. What the fuck is her name? Black chick. Anyway, she's gonna run for Senate. I think she's gonna run for that seat.
Isn't that the same chick that they supposedly owe a debt to for?
Right. You're right. For the Democrats, for Joe Biden even making it in the office. Yeah, that's what they're saying. I
can't think of a name right now either, but I know who you're talking about.
Wisconsin incumbent Republican Ron Johnson. I don't think they're gonna have a problem. Arizona Democrat Mark Kelly. These are all seats that are coming up for 2022. Nevada incumbent Democrat Catherine Cortez Masto. Then you got North Carolina Republican Richard Burr. He's retiring. Some of these dudes are just like getting out of this shit. They know it's getting too fucking crazy. New Hampshire Democrat Maggie Hassan. Damn, he does not look like a Maggie Hassan. He probably got on just by that name. Florida Republican Marco Rubio. Oh, so that must not be him from the picture. Is that him? Can't be him. Because I got pictures not matching up. Ohio incumbent Republican Rob Portman retiring. Yeah, he probably just had enough. There goes Rubio. Missouri Republican Roy Blunt is retiring. So basically, I'm not going to read their article, but just from what I know about politics is it's going to be a bloodbath for the Democrats.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what have they fulfilled?
Yeah,
their promises.
They really haven't done nothing. That infrastructure bill is the only thing they can hang their hat on. And like I say, nobody's excited about that. It's milk toast.
The crazy thing about that though is that very same thing was mentioned before people got them into office. For a great deal of them. The Democrats anyway. As a whole. But
yeah, so they're toasted unless they can somehow. I don't see no way around it. I really don't see no way around it. I mean, they'd have to pull something out of their ass within the next 6 months.
Nah.
If they don't pull something out their ass in the next 6 months, it's gonna be a bloodbath for the Democrats this next cycle, and then the following cycle too. So the next 2 cycles are the Democrats are toast.
Yeah, they don't have no amazing no amazing strategy to get all, keep everything where it is.
This is their last chance. Like I say, they got about 6 more months left because the argument is going to be, hey, y'all had the Democrats was in the president, y'all had the House, y'all had the Senate. What did y'all do? Well, we did the infrastructure bill. That was just a corporate giveaway. What did you do for me? You know what I'm saying? And every single group, all the different groups are going to say that. You got the black people going to say that. Everyone's going to say that. All the different groups. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be like, what did y'all do for us, the working people? What did y'all do for us? They're like, we passed the infrastructure bill. Bro, that didn't affect my life. I don't see how that affected my life. So I might just go ahead and slide over here on the Republican side and see if they can do something for me to actually help me in my life, or at least, I don't know, do something with the school curriculum or something. Like, do something.
Yeah. I need some tangibles. I need something I can see, touch, smell.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what that is. Let me see. It was a couple of other news stories. Doctor says fully vaccinated people are going to test positive with Omicron. Because I saw a bunch of stories about that.
Who said that?
This is a headline I just read. Hold on, let me share it. It says, doctor says fully vaccinated people are going to test positive with Omicron, our new normal. This is the People, I guess that's People magazine. I don't want to go to the article because I know it is what it is. But yes.
People still trying to convince me that, it's the unvaxxed that's, creating these variants and getting other people sick. I'm like, what's different about our bodies? That's not, what I'm saying? Because, like, okay, you the one went and got a shot. I mean, if they're not really paying attention, no, they're not gonna see it because, like, they're programmed. A lot of them have been programmed by the news where they believe, like, in totality, everything that they're saying. It's like, no, like, my body is still the same. Like, why would it be creating, something new? But you're the ones that's making changes to your body, and this is when we're seeing it, and it's mostly with you in the hospital. Like, you the one that's, your tests are the ones that's coming up positive, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand it. It's really crazy that you have to do mind gymnastics for it to make any sense.
Well, to explain, I mean, really just trying to explain it to them, the logic, where, like, okay, it doesn't really add up for it to be the way that you're saying it. And the majority of the people that you're seeing, that's being affected by it are those that, are the ones that's vaccinated.
Curtis say, what the hell is Omicron? Bro, have you been living under a rock, bro? Are you serious, bro? Like, that's all they keep talking about. It's the newest variant.
Yeah, the new variant is called Omicron.
Yeah. Where have you been? That's all they're talking about.
Nah, he knows.
Look, check this out. It says 3 million signed petition after trucker driver gets 110-year sentence. A truck driver sentenced earlier this week to 110 years in prison for a 2019 crash that left 4 people dead and several others injured in Colorado. By Friday, more than 3.4 million people had signed a petition asking Colorado Governor Jared Polis to grant clemency to Roger Aguilera Medeiros or commutation for time served. It says Heather Gilby, the author of Change.org petition, wrote, "We're not trying to make it seem any less of a tragic accident that it is because, yes, lives were lost. In April 2019, the truck Aguilera Medeiros was driving lost its brakes. CBS Denver reported he passed one of the state's runway truck ramps as he descended from the mountains, a point the prosecution focused heavily on during the trial. He might have just missed that, though. He then crashed into several cars stopped on eastbound I-70 in Lakewood, sparking a massive fire. The highway was shut down in both directions for roughly 24 hours. The crash killed 24-year-old Miguel Angel Lamas, 67-year-old William Bailey, 61-year-old Doyle Harrison, and 69-year-old Stanley Politano. So he was convicted of 27 counts, including vehicular homicide. Yeah, so what you think about that story?
I was reading something else over here on my phone. I'm sorry. Just give me a quick. Which one were you reading?
30. The truck driver got sentenced to
Oh,
110 years.
yeah, and the people was trying to get him free.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't really know the context. I don't know all the details of that case because I mean, a lot of times they will try to bury a truck driver, but I mean, if it's weather conditions that caused it, or I mean,
It
just
said
because.
it said it lost the brakes and he was on a mountain. So I mean, damn. And but they said he passed one of the runway's truck ramps. So I guess in one of those truck ramp exit ones for just for those kind of conditions, he missed one. He said he passed one of them.
On
So
accident.
well, I mean, we don't know. I mean, it had to be on accident. I mean, like it had to be like either he didn't see it or he couldn't get into it.
But that's
I
what I'm
mean,
saying.
yeah,
I mean, that's my point. I
yeah.
mean,
I don't think
sometimes.
anybody, because he could have died in the crash himself. I don't think anybody would have. It was a runaway truck coming down a mountain. Kurt said, my dad had hell to pay every case he got driving trucks.
Yeah, I've heard some horror stories, but I don't know. I've been doing pretty good. No real issues.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about relationships a little bit. I saw something earlier. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it, but the chicks basically bringing something to the table question, and like, okay, wait, here's something. It says a good woman is an investment, an immature girl is a bill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that.
I mean, what else can you say? I mean,
what are they talking about?
she fussing.
I think that was that time that they got caught fucking acting like somebody had glazed donut. I remember this. The guy had glazed donut residue on his damn floor.
You would think a police officer would recognize donut glaze. It's probably on the floor.
They said, okay, we found it. The officer points to my floorboard on the driver's side and said, that's crystal methamphetamines right there. I said, that's glaze from a Krispy Kreme glazed donut I ate 2 days ago, and I haven't vacuumed the car yet.
You would think a police officer would recognize donut glaze. It's probably on the front of their uniform.
They said, okay, we found it. The officer points to my floorboard on the driver's side and said, that's crystal methamphetamines right there. I said,
the guy said, you think the officer would recognize the glaze? They got some on his front of his uniform. That's funny, man. Let's see if this is.
Oh yeah, I forget you can't play the sound, huh?
I got it.
Look at you. You man. Look. You wanna argue. I can't argue with you. You man. I can't argue with you. No. Look at you. Look at you. You man. Look at you. You big man. I'm happy.
You mad? You big mad? Yeah. I don't know how long I'm gonna stay on tonight.
What's
Listen,
wrong?
I don't know. I kind of just want to play the game. That's really the only thing. This guy says, wouldn't it be nice if pro-lifers focused on suicide prevention or ending the death penalty or fighting poverty or curbing hunger or stopping gun violence or police killings or combating the opiate epidemic or ending wars? You know, things that would actually save lives.
I think that would be very effective, and I mean, shoot, it's all if you can do the prevention part, it's always gonna be a, you know what I'm saying, like it's more beneficial for everybody. So yeah, it only makes sense, but nobody's really looking at it that way.
Look at this picture right here. It says, this is Vlad TV. He's always on this kind of debauchery. But it says, man arrested after photos posing with mall Santa, cash, and gun goes viral.
Oh, damn.
Man, I bet you that mall Santa was scared.
Let's just get these pictures over with.
That nigga, he like, can they please hurry up and just fucking just go. Just go. I'm not making no money. You can't rob me or nothing. Like, nigga look nervous as fuck sitting there.
Well, no, they robbed him of his dignity.
He already did that by dressing up as Santa and becoming a mall Santa.
I know, but I'm just saying.
That's funny. He says, when you die and realize your family's going to find the artificial ass you've been fucking for the last year. That's weird. These NFTs, man. What have you been getting into the NFTs? Have you been reading about that shit? What do you know about that stuff?
I've been learning about them a little bit. I mean, non-fungible tokens, and I mean you can. It's just a digital asset that you can, you know.
I don't get how it works. How, you know, people buy like it's like basically gifts. We've been having those gifts forever.
Yeah, but I mean, if you have something that will create value over time, I mean, that's where you're gonna have the difference because, just like artwork, whether it's, physical copies, digital copies, or whatever, as it grows in value, somebody wants to license it from you um or own it totally, like they'll pay that price. So that's what NFTs are providing opportunity for people so that they can deal with people worldwide, anywhere on Earth, um, through a certain blockchain in order to trade, make money. You know what I'm saying? Like you might want to hold it for over time. You know, there's something that will be of more value 20 years down the road or something like that.
Yeah,
It's a lot to it, man. I mean, it's not something you're gonna learn within a 5-minute conversation.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Curtis wrote, it happened to me. Cop was like, what's up with the PCP on your back seat?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's cinnamon roll icing. You can have that. Then he said, then they broke my $1,000 radio.
What?
I believe you, bro.
$1,000.
Yeah, I believe you. broke the radio, probably looking for some dope, or like they thought he had drugs in the car, so they probably thought he was stashing it behind the radio or something, and they probably ripped the shit out.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you know they didn't stake the place out trying to find it.
Holy cannoli!
Ow!
Let's keep scrolling. He said he looked like Eddie. I mean, he said he asked how Laura and Eddie were. He looked like the guy from the show.
Mm-hmm.
That's an old meme.
What's up with this one?
What
was that top?
It says faded as fuck. It's faded as fuck backwards. Oh, okay. What do you call it when it's the same forward and backwards? There's a word for it.
I don't know.
But you know what I'm talking about, though.
Well, yeah, no, I know exactly. Like, lived and devil. I mean, I don't know. Level. The word level.
Yeah. And then there's sentences or whole phrases that are like that. This picture has Gilgamesh versus Hercules. It's really just kind of demonstrating to people that it's the same stories getting recycled over and over. I wish people could really just get that. Like, it's really if it's a great story, best to believe it's not original. All great stories came from earlier.
Isn't the most fire? Like, it's not gonna be might not be the most exciting, but it's a true story.
It says Kanye West and Jay-Z once made Big Sean fire his homie for breaking studio rules.
Damn.
Let's hear the audio.
Told him, I was like, I don't even know what the fuck you talking about. But
now who's calling you and saying this?
I'm in the studio with Ye.
Okay.
I'm like, bro, he was like, and I explained to him who it was, and he was like, you gotta fucking fire him. Mm-hmm. He was like, we all done this. Mm-hmm. We've hired the people, that we love and do this and this and this shit, but people was mad at you. People was mad. You talking about me? He's talking to me. People was mad at you, thinking that you was being thirsty.
Right.
And it was your man's.
Right.
So I told him, I'm in a position where it's like, shit, Ye and Hov saying you gotta go. I'm sorry, bro. We gotta figure out something else. You know what I'm saying? But it ended up being a blessing in disguise. He ended up transforming his life and being probably way more successful than he would have been just in the position he was in.
Nah, dope.
Because
he said Hov says you gotta go. So yeah.
Yeah, the boss.
Yeah, that means you gotta go.
Yeah. We're not really asking no questions nowhere.
Yeah, for whatever reason, he said you gotta go. Yeah.
Not worrying about any kind of justification you might have.
None of that.
Deuces.
Knowledge. Curtis said it was the CPU for the radio. So the CPU for the radio, the computer for the radio, but where was it? It was somewhere that they moved it and ripped the wires out. Is that what happened?
I guess it depends.
Jurors award family of man killed by Austin police $67 million. See how random this is? This is how the universe works. Like, I'm just scrolling down Instagram, but we didn't hit like 2 or 3 stories related to like cop misconduct. So it says jurors award family of man killed by Austin police $67 million. If the jury awarded the people $67 million, then the jury must have felt like the cops had did something wrong. You know what I mean? Like, clearly, they're not going to give away no $67 million just cause. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, it's definitely for a reason. I mean,
they need to be criminally held. They need to be criminally held liable.
Who's going to do that, though?
It says the jury recommended the family of Landon Nobles receive $67 million, which could be reduced by a judge. A verdict derived from a lawsuit filed by the Nobles family back in 2019. The lawsuit came after Travis County District Attorney Office ruled in 2018 that the officer's use of deadly force was justified. So how can the district attorney say that the use of deadly force was justified, but then the jury find that doesn't make sense to me. Scott Handler, human rights activist and lawyer, said this amount is a clear indication people want police accountability. And I don't even know this case. So that's interesting to me because if they said the district attorney said the use of deadly force was justified, but the family did a suit and won $67 million. Comments. I'm gonna read some of the comments. Damn. It says, "This is sad. I don't care if it's $1 billion. I'd rather have my child." Let me see. How does one judge get to overrule the people's choice? It says, but the police, their union, nor the justice system is paying the money. The shit is coming out of taxpayers' pockets. While everyone is cheering, you will be the ones paying the money to them. Not one penny will come out of the murderer's pocket. That's a very good point. Another person said, all coming from the black taxpayers that are overtaxed and overpriced the most. Somebody said, then the family should move to Africa. Bye-bye. It's crazy how one of the things I love to read comments on especially under YouTube videos, and you know how people really are if you read those comments, you know, like you think that like the way people talked back in the days, like super racist times, like during slavery or whatever, and it's like people don't talk like that today. If you read underneath the YouTube comments, you'll hear the same exact language. Trump says Netanyahu never wanted peace with Palestinians. Well, that's not news. Curtis, let's see, he said, it looked like a brick, LOL. LOL, Pat Sleepy. He says, it looked like a brick, so that's why they fucked up the CPU, because I guess they thought it was it looked like a brick of cocaine. Fucking dumbasses. It says, playing too humble will have you overlooked, underpaid, and underbooked. Talk your shit, own the room, and let them haters be uncomfortable.
Yep. At some point, you gotta figure out who you want to benefit from you the most. You or somebody else.
I always like Denzel's comments. I wonder, did I show this chick's page last time?
I don't know, but I'm glad you're showing it now. I think you did. I think we saw this the other night.
Yeah, the tall
I don't know if we
chicks.
went through the whole thing, but shit, I need some eye drops. No, seriously, like at a certain point, my eyes will start drying up.
Yeah. Good fucking Lord.
Yes, I say the same thing. Good goobly goo, like Grady.
Yeah. It's a crazy world out there. History photographed. I love these. This is John F. Kennedy and his wife. The photo is
Is it?
so good.
Oh, that is his wife? Real?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. And the photo is so good. Look how good that photo is. You can see the hairs on his leg.
Where'd you get this from?
This is off of History Photographed. It's an Instagram page that I follow.
They do some kind of special effects with it.
It does look like it was enhanced a bit. It does look like the photo was enhanced. That doesn't mean that they did it. Whoever, this could have been out of Time magazine or something from way back in the day. It's a really good photo. So who knows? I bet you it was. I bet you it was from like a magazine of the day at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's a really good photo. America.
Yeah, they probably had 5K cameras, 10K cameras back then that they just not letting us get a hold to now.
This is interesting. I don't know how to feel about this, but this photo, it says these events are 66 years apart. My question is, where do you think we'll be 60 years from today? So it's been about that long, right? What year was that? Supposedly
The
moon
landing.
landing. Yeah.
68, 69 or something.
Yeah, we're 2022. We're going into 22 now. That's 50.
40 something years.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going backwards if you know.
Yeah, that's 50 something. Yeah. 52, 53 years.
That was a streaker in Wimbledon. It says 650 soldiers who survived the First World War pay homage to the horses that fell in battle. Millions of horses and other animals also served during wartime, and one special photo shows just how much their human counterparts appreciated the war horses and their sacrifice. This touching black and white photo is believed to have been taken by officers of the Auxiliary Remount Department number 326 in Camp Cody, New Mexico, 1919. You can see that it was you can also see that from that photo that the army was segregated, because I don't see any black faces in there. What's I gonna say? This is interesting though. First World War and how they was using those birds and stuff.
Oh, for messages.
Yeah, man,
Pigeons.
that was some interesting shit right there. Some pretty complex shit too, because they was always worried about any kind of electronic stuff getting intercepted and the enemy finding out what they were doing. So that using the birds was a pretty damn. Another thing they used in World War I to encode messages, they used Native American language. I think one of the languages they used was from the Lakota, and they used that language because the other places around the world, they didn't know how to they couldn't translate it.
Which means couldn't translate it.
They couldn't translate it because they didn't know. These Native American languages, a lot of them are really old too. They're really old, so they don't have the same kind of roots that the other languages have. You get what I'm saying? Like the Latin languages and so forth and so on. These look like, specifically like the Lakota, their language root doesn't come from over there. You know what I'm saying?
Or I mean, it's not quite as diverse.
diverse. No, you're not getting it. It's the like languages always have families, right? And that's the reason why
Mm-hmm.
they're able to. It makes it easier to decode and translate and shit like that.
Yeah.
So, that's why any other language, if they would have used Arabic, Chinese, Spanish, anything like that, they would have been able to be decoded by someone. Pretty much any popular language. So they used this Native American language as code because, like, the Chinese and the Russians couldn't decode it. They didn't know that the Lakota language. Let's see. I missed some comments. Let me read some comments. The original black and white. I've seen it before. Okay, he's talking about the photo of John F. K. Yeah, I'm sure it was in black and white. 67, 68, about the year that was. He said, Doc is right. It was black and white. We have reusable space vehicles and an international space station and probes on Mars. We have come far. Okay, I give you some. I give you that a little bit. A little. Socially, we're going backwards. It wasn't new thinking with the birds. They went medieval on it. Yeah, I understand that. They did go. Navajo was the language. Thank you, Doc. See, he knows what I'm talking about. I love it when people know history. Gosh. Anyways, he said it wasn't new thinking with the birds. They were medieval. Because I understand that. They went backwards because of the technology was so they went to an old technology. He says it was Navajo. He says, check out the old Nick Cage movie, Code Talkers. He plays a guy that guards a code talker or is supposed to kill him before allowing capture. So you know what I was talking about. Navajo was the language.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about the actual Navajo language, but that's some good info.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff because that's why I like to talk about stuff like that, is because when you go digging and go looking into that stuff, it's gonna take you down it's gonna take you down a rabbit hole.
Oh yeah. Are you ready? You have to ask yourself that. Are you ready to
Yeah. Yeah, because
take it there?
that's a real rabbit hole right there. Because it's really interesting. A lot of the reasons why America has become such a great power in the world was based on stuff like the Native Americans, the slaves, and all of this stuff. The same stuff that they don't want to, give credit to.
Yep. That's
like how wealthy the United States, a brand new country coming out of nowhere, and then they just become the richest country, one of the richest countries in the world. Okay, you guys, let's figure out what happened. It was just the industrial revolution.
But usually the drug dealers and the killers, the drug dealers, killers, and criminals, period, end up coming up with the money faster than anybody else in almost any scenario.
Doc says they would identify tanks and planes with Navajo names like Turtle Tank, Falcon Fighter, and Ilgui Bomber. That's true, Doc, but the reason why they did that wasn't related to the code like we was talking about earlier. That is more related to man, I went down this rabbit hole. There's a really good documentary. It's called Exterminate the Brutes by this guy, this Haitian guy. It's a documentary, and it breaks it down very, 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 very clearly, why they use those tomahawk, all of that stuff, because a lot of the military equipment has these Native American names.
Well, they also I mean, as far as the names, that's one thing, but every one of those vehicles has a birthday, and they'll do numerology on it, and based on the numerology that follows it, they will attach a name to it based on that. I mean, there's different systems, like older systems than numerology is pretty old, but like, you know, if you what's it called? Past what's the you know, not cosmology, but it used to be the native language.
Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you. Were you gone for a minute?
Yeah, something happened. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, I think that's good now. He said they use the native language for double layer what the fuck when they try to decode it. Yeah, that's a very interesting little tidbit in history, man. It's very interesting. When I learned about that, I was like so like in awe with that shit. That one of the advantages that the you know the Allied forces had was using the damn Navajo language. Was so interesting. Because people got to understand, you know, when wars happen, you know, they could have went a whole different way. World War One could have went a totally different way, and World War Two could have went a totally different way. And you know, when you do, you have to study World War One and World War Two kind of together because World War Two is like the continuation of World War One. Like it was,
Mhm.
it wasn't resolved. The resolution wasn't satisfactory to the parties involved, and then the resolution wasn't final, if you will, after World War One. It was more final after World War Two. Basically, um, you know, what's crazy about World War II is, you know, whenever they dropped those atomic bombs, they already had won the war. The war was over. You know what I'm saying? They had already won. So I think looking back on it as a historian myself, I think that those atomic bombs they were like to solidify the positions of the victors, if you will. You get what I'm saying? Like we're like think this is the way things gonna be, and this is what it's gonna be for a good amount of time. So yeah, unless y'all want more of this right here.
I always look at it a little bit deeper than that because it's like it wasn't. I don't think it was just to make a mark so people remember this is what happened. Like you know, we really don't like y'all, and I'm gonna fuck some of y'all up before we leave here.
And that's another thing that could be considered a war crime, because again the war was over and they killed so many innocent people, like destroyed whole cities and shit. And then it left fucking nuclear fucking residue or whatever, radioactive materials that continued to kill people for generations and cause birth defects and all kind of shit.
Yeah, and I mean the military is not necessarily trying to do well. I'm assuming in some cases they're gonna try to be more fair depending on the power of the people that they're dealing with, but they're not making true like stuff that one these countries just gonna agree to, like almost turning over your resources and this, then the third. It's like, well, if that's the only way we're gonna have it, well, let's do it.
Or we gonna blow your shit to shit. Doc
Well,
said if Hitler or Napoleon in their time had sacrificed the men needed to push Russia, Moscow, our world would be far different place today. And I agree. Napoleon almost took over the whole damn world. Guess what stopped Napoleon ass though? Y'all niggas always be forgetting. It was the Haitians. The Haitians are the ones that it got, because once Napoleon couldn't take over Haiti, that's when he started getting in trouble with the people, and they started turning on him. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Cause the people want you to win. You if you want to win, if you're a winner and you win every time, then you better keep winning every time. Because and also Napoleon was he was gangster, so he was like, fuck y'all go do this shit like this, because that's what it's gonna be. And everybody's cool with that as long as you keep kicking everybody's ass. But the moment you don't, but what Napoleon's legacy is the Napoleon codes that he did, because he unified the whole region with the law, and that was a great thing. It balanced the law, and it balanced like how you trade like currencies and shit like that. So and he made codes to deal with what would happen if this happens and what would happen if that. Basically, the law of the land, and forced everybody to follow it. And it caused, that's one of the reasons why the trade was able to be so good, because you had these conditions that everybody had to abide by. Because before that, they would tip the scales literally, and always fucking over people because of like the different, kind of like today with the fiat currency transfers, how like they just say, okay, well, yeah, those are Nigerian or those are francs or whatever, so they ain't worth that much or whatever, versus this dollar and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't even know what my point was, but the difference. Napoleon really made a difference with those codes, and and Haiti is what stopped him. And Russia, Hitler could have fucking took over the whole fucking world, and we'd probably be speaking Japanese. I don't know that it wouldn't be better though. I don't know that it would be worse than what we live in now.
Yep. I mean, you can't really call it.
Doc he said he expanded Justinian law to work in modern era, just a little on the harsher side though. And I would say that that's his legacy. I would say that's what he did that was good, because that shit continued after, because Napoleon's whole thing really didn't last that long, because that's what happens when you go all the way up to the top like that really quickly. It's not gonna last. He declared himself emperor and everything. Like, so many things changed at this time. This was around the French Revolution, when they got rid of the king and all of that shit. So then Napoleon was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna be the king then. We just gonna call it emperor or whatever. We're gonna make it like Rome. You know what I mean? Instead of kings and queens, then shit, it's just gonna be emperors. Yeah, man. Fucking history is what gets me going every time. I love that shit.
From any perspective.
Yeah, from any perspective, because it's so deep. You never, like I say, you can study one event your whole life and still be finding out more information that's related to it. Miley's New Year's Eve party, hosted by Miley Cyrus and Pete Davidson. I'm gonna lie, that sounds kind of fun. Judge rules Sackler family can face civil lawsuits over role in opioid crisis. The motherfuckers should go to jail. Instead, they're just rolling in their dough. People just playing with filters. Oh yeah, that's the truck driver again. That shit must be kind of viral. Anything that Kamala says has got to be entertaining.
It's Joe Biden.
It's gonna be funny. Let's hear Kamala Harris. This should be good.
So who's the real president of this country? Is it Joe Manchin or Joe Biden, Madam Vice President?
Come on, Charlamagne.
Come
on. It's Joe Biden.
I can't tell sometimes.
No. It's Joe Biden. It's Joe Biden. And don't start talking like a Republican about asking whether or not he's president. It's Joe Biden.
Do you think Joe Manchin is a problem?
It's Joe Biden. And I'm vice president, and my name is Kamala Harris.
Okay, we know your name.
So who's the real president of this country? Is it Joe Manchin or Joe Biden?
She kept saying, let's hear it one more time.
It's Joe Biden.
I can't tell sometimes.
No. It's Joe
Biden. My master.
It's Joe Biden. And don't start talking like a Republican
don't
about
disrespect
asking
my
whether or not he's president. It's Joe Biden.
Do you think Joe Manchin is a problem?
It's Joe Biden. And I'm vice president. And my name is Kamala Harris.
And my name is Kamala Harris. So remember,
who's the real president?
Remember my name too. Shit. Kamala, man. Oh my gosh, she's so horrible. Everybody hates her.
Because she's not real. She's not anything that she says she was.
And then she's in line. The Democrats are shooting themselves in the fucking foot. Ain't no way in hell, bro. Ain't no way in hell, Kamala. She couldn't beat. I don't know who. They could put Marco Rubio up there. I don't think she could beat Marco Rubio. You know what I'm saying? You name them. Name a Republican, and that Republican could beat Kamala Harris in the presidential campaign. Because everybody hates her on both sides.
Easy.
They do not like her. She shouldn't even be up there. She remember, she dropped out of the race. She wasn't getting enough support.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one they chose to put on the ticket with him. I heard about this. It was some teenagers.
Oh yeah.
They it was a fire.
You get out right.
I want to say this was in New York. And these teenage kids kind of like saved each other. They said one person died, but these two made it. Fucking intense ass situations. Everybody want to act like they so hard, but you don't know how the fuck you gonna react when you in the building is fucking on fucking fire. Doc says, he says, Japan was still a feudal empire ruled by a god emperor in World War II, and Hitler was, well, Hitler. The world would not be better. I don't know, bro. That's an argument. At least we know no one will assassinate 46, kind of like why 46 was 44's VP. That makes sense too. But I don't think Biden has it in him for 8 years, bro. I don't think he got 8 years in him. I really just don't, bro. Like, what do you think about that, Pat? I don't see Biden. Even if he won re-election, I don't see him, being mentally or physically fit to make it through that whole time. And that's going to automatically make Kamala president. Because he's saying nobody's going to assassinate Biden because they hate Kamala more than him. You know what I'm saying? That's keeping Biden alive. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, I keep kind of losing it. I am a little bit tired, so I apologize. But what you were saying about Biden and Kamala.
Yeah, just saying how they hate her, basically. This guy says, having sex with someone who is not your divine counterpart will alter your DNA and frequency in a negative way. That's heavy. What do you think about that?
Well, that's real.
Yes, I believe in that. He says, pay close attention to how you feel after having sex with someone. That post-nut clarity will tell you everything you need to know in regards to making more grounded decisions for yourself in the future. Many are currently purging unconscious sexual relationships from past at this time. The inner feminine within everyone is starting to awaken, which means you will start to feel energy on deeper levels. Having unaligned sex will result in soul harvesting and cause blockage within the chakra system and DNA. Some of you may be realizing that various connections no longer serve your highest good. If your chakras feel blocked or in pain after connecting with someone that is not your person, and you are absorbing negative energy through a connection unconsciously. He goes on. That's a lot. But the feminine, he said the inner feminine, he said, that's something I do feel like is happening. And, it's a full moon today. It's a full moon tonight.
Well, you got to think about the different spirits. That's the whole part that, all the different people that you may have come across, or this person may have come across. You're picking up energy from each one, and then you wonder why, like, these kids are confused, or some of these people end up getting confused about the sexuality because they don't know what kind of stuff mom and dad and who they like. There's maybe quite a few different spirits that was able to exist because of that kind of behavior. So
yes, I'm so scared of that shit. STD, sexually transmitted demons. Doc said he's gonna make it 2. Then Kamala go 2 years and still run for 2 full terms. And even scarier, AOC will be old enough in 2024.
Won't happen.
Yeah, I don't think it will happen, but that is a scary idea because I could, because like I say, Kamala's in line, so Biden getting 2 is not far-fetched, and then Kamala getting after that is not that far-fetched either.
No. Give me a moment because I need to get these eye drops.
All right, cool. I think I got a video. What was it? Bipartisan at whose expense? Raphael Warnock.
It's always at ours.
The homeless thing was the one I really wanted to cover. Let's see, economic update. Ecology co-ops a profit. What was lost when the Library of Alexandria burned? That's super interesting. There's a Matrix clip here. Let's play that. I got a few clips I can play while we get it together.
I think it was mostly books, but
I don't know if I would get in trouble for doing this, but should be okay. It's a trailer. What Doc says, AOC as the VP ticket, never as first chair. Kamala has screwed up and they are looking replace her before 46 bows out. I think you're right about that. They do like AOC, but they need somebody, and they do want a female because that's the direction, because Hillary Clinton was supposed to get it, right? It was supposed to be a woman, and they're still on that shit real heavy. And that's one of the reasons why he chose Kamala as because she was a black woman. That's why he chose her as the VP. And it's really about the pictures. It's the photo ops. It's what do you call it? Identity politics. So, but they need a woman. They need a strong woman. AOC could be good for the VP, but they need a strong woman to be the head of the ticket. And Kamala is not that.
no, neither one of them are strong in that sense. I mean, they talk a good game, but they're not really gonna, be the aggressor, or to say like attacked certain things without the say so of somebody else. Like they're more of a puppies, or
Because Trump would eat Kamala up in a debate. He would chew her up. She would be trying to do sound bites. Meanwhile, he gonna be eating her up, and everybody gonna be looking at her like we know you're smart and you went to school and you know a lot of shit, but this dude just made you look like a dumbass. He said if they had run Michelle Obama as VP, Hillary could have won. Without a doubt, Michelle Obama could run for president, and I think she could win. Now, that's a name that could be the head of the ticket. Michelle Obama with AOC as the VP. Now, that's a strong ticket right there.
Yeah, it is. And, that's only going to go so far because, I mean, there's a lot of Democrats that's realizing how, I won't say that bad that of a president that Obama was, but he wasn't quite the most effective as he could have been, and they know that that's going to be,
Well, I don't think Michelle wants it. Like,
no, she doesn't.
Her life is good.
She very well could have had it if she wanted it. Like,
yeah, I don't think she wants it. Her life is good, and she's not the kind of person where they can just grab them and force them to go out there. Like they could do that to Obama, but he already did his 2 terms because he's in debt to the system. Because once you do all this stuff, you still owe people. You know what I mean? You owe, Pookie. You owe. Like how Joe Biden ended up getting thrown in there. Because like I say, I don't think he wanted to run. I'm sure if he had the choice, he would be at home. He'd probably be on vacation with Obama some damn where. Chilling like a villain on a yacht somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Now he gotta fucking go to work and shit. Go out there and sell some bullshit to the American people. Let's see. He said the squad is losing their charm and appeal. I don't know. I think they created the whole idea of the squad anyways, because the squad it's a whole thing anyways. It's all just a political cycle. I mean, when I mean political cycle, I mean like a news cycle. That's what I meant to say. That's all it is. Headline cycle. That's all that is. The media created the squad. It's not really a real thing, if you will. Let's watch this 1-minute trailer, Matrix. It's a clip. It's different from the other.
All the explanation you need.
Red pill.
No. Whoa. What do you mean, no? You wanted this. You did this. This was your idea. It was a test. An experiment. An experiment? You put me in a tiny mold, left me to bang my head till I nearly lost my searching for you as an experiment.
The exit's breaking down.
He hasn't taken the pill.
What? There's no time.
I know. He's having a moment.
Does he know how hard it was to hack that mirror?
Still open. This can't be real.
This can't be real. Yeah. He really is not a good actor. I've always said that. But he picks good movies though.
Mm-hmm.
They build movies around him.
Or they pick him and
they build the movie around him, yeah. Homeless 10 years ago, Alexandria. One of these is the other one. And Bipartisan, Whose Expense? Raphael Warnock. Ecology Co-ops and Profit. That's too long. I don't want to put y'all to sleep.
I'll be right back.
All right, cool. I'm gonna play this video then while you're a little bit of it.
Raphael Warnock's powerful speech from the floor of the Senate Tuesday as he called on the conservative members of the Democratic Party to stop obstructing voting rights legislation. He didn't name Senators Joe Manchin and Sinema, who have come out against doing away with the filibuster in order to allow Democrats to pass the Freedom to Vote Act and the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act.
Conniving methods that were getting in the way of the free exercise of the constitutional right to vote. His rallying cry that day in 1957 was, "Give us the ballot." So, Madam President, in light of the conniving methods of voter suppression we have seen enacted into law since the January 6th attack on the Capitol, I come to the floor today to share with the people of Georgia and the American people the message that I shared with my colleagues over the weekend and earlier today during our caucus meeting. I said to my Democratic colleagues over the last several days, number one, unfortunately, the vast majority of our Republican friends have made it clear that they have no intention of trying to work with us to address voter suppression or to protect voting rights. They have embodied by their actions the sentiments of conservative strategist Paul Weyrich, who dared say in 1981, quote, "I don't want everybody to vote." That's what he said. Elections are not won by a majority of people. They never have been from the beginning of our country, and they are not now. As a matter of fact, he went on to say, our leverage in the elections quite candidly goes up as the voting populace goes down. Second thing I said to my Democratic colleagues today is that while we cannot let our Republican friends off the hook for not being equitable governing partners, if we are serious about protecting the right to vote that's under assault right now, here's the truth. It will fall to Democrats to do it. If Democrats alone must raise the debt ceiling, then Democrats alone must raise and repair the ceiling of our democracy. How do we in good conscience justify doing one and not the other? Some of my Democratic colleagues are saying, but what about bipartisanship? Isn't that important? I say, of course it is. But here's the thing we must remember. Slavery was bipartisan. Jim Crow segregation was bipartisan. The refusal of women's suffrage was bipartisan. The denial of the basic dignity of members of the LGBTQ community has long been bipartisan. The 3/5 compromise was the creation of a putative national unity at the expense of Black people's basic humanity. So when colleagues in this chamber talk to me about bipartisanship, which I believe in, I just have to ask, at whose expense? Who is being asked to foot the bill for this bipartisanship? And is liberty itself the cost? I submit that that's a price too high and a bridge too far. And so I struggled this weekend. I talked to folk I believe in. Among them, I spoke with Reverend Ambassador Andrew Young, who was with Dr. King until the very end about this vote. I talked to Ambassador Young and I asked him, what do you think? And he said, I try not to worry, but I'm worried about our country. And then this 89-year-old battle-worn soldier in the nonviolent army of the Lord drew silent on the phone. And then he said to me, Tell your colleagues that among your constituents are people who literally laid their lives on the line for the basic right to vote. They lost friends. They lost so much.
Yeah, it's hard to listen to. He said he was the guy they hired so the top man didn't get assassinated. He was the Democrats' version of Dan Quayle. That's an interesting comment, Doc. I would like to know what you think, Doc, about the Voting Rights Act, and all that. Basically, what he's talking about in this video. Pat, did you get any of that video?
I heard a little bit at the end of it. So I don't have full context of it, and I hadn't seen anything previous to that about that whole thing. But he, I mean, most people are concerned about what direction the country is going in. That's part of one of the statements I really heard, but nobody's really. They see it, they know it, but it goes against everything that they want.
And then we got all these pretenders who's getting paid to just spew words out of their mouth.
10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's really whoever comes up with the best speech, to try to get people behind them, and I mean that's pretty much what's been going on back and forth. Is a war
for a while.
word.
And that's
Yeah.
why Obama was the best. That's the reason why he was so successful. That's where he was successful at, being able to talk that bullshit and everybody chewing it up. Because I
Well,
chewed it up too.
He
at
was
first.
good. I ain't gonna, well, you right. He's good, but I mean, well, and I guess that's to prove how good he was. I guess what I'm about to say is that, like, I mean, we had trusted him. A lot of us had trusted him just because he was just cool as hell. Oh, he played basketball. He looked like me. What I'm saying? Like, it was all these different things where it just gave him a pass. So if he said it, it must be real. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah, he
we
had
were
us.
very fool. We were very foolish people during the time of Obama.
Yeah, man. Doc says, I'll have to look into that particular bill, but I can solidly say my opinion on ID for voting is not bad racist thing. Yeah, IDs is not just it. Like they be it's about polling locations. Just like restricting people for all kinds of reasons to not be able to vote.
Well, that I mean,
Early
I guess
voting.
the part that I guess that I really kind of like the pushback on that, I guess, would be more so like there has to be some kind of like anybody that just because they're here should be able to come. Like, I mean, you're saying like people who are from, let's say, Timbuktu, that's not a citizen, or like people, period. I mean, because I know, like, I mean, if you came here legally and you are a resident, you have the right to vote. But you also, what I'm saying, in order for any of that stuff to happen, you gotta have, a driver's license or some kind of identification, your passport or whatever. So,
Nobody really has a problem with that. It's a whole bunch of other shit that they do to limit people from access to voting.
well, that was one of the biggest issues that people are saying is like, being able to ask for an identification card when they go to vote. Just prove that you are who you say you are.
That's them making it. That's how the politics works when they make it something into something that's not really a thing. and then they get everybody thinking that it's a thing when it's not a thing,
Well,
just
I mean,
because they
but
keep talking about it.
what the thing about it is, some people feel like it's a thing, and then but if you actually record it, if you go ahead and just say, all right, look, just so that we can show you and prove to you that this thing that you're saying doesn't exist, just go along with it. I mean, you're gonna find out if their whole movement was genuine, because I mean, the particular
Talking about that particular bill, it's the John Lewis Act. I want to say you can look it up like that. I think it's John Lewis Act. It's a voting rights act that they're trying to, because all the different jurisdictions are doing they're trying to streamline the way you can do it, make it a certain baseline so it can be kind of fair or whatever, because different states have.
But that's the thing, because a lot of times just based on who you root for, you kind of see what like the things that they want to be, things that's going to benefit them is going to look more attractive, because you feel like just because you can let any and everybody come and vote with for whatever reason, whatever there's just more votes for that party. So yeah, I mean, it's a fight on both sides. I mean, some of them see it being more beneficial to be able to prove this, that, and that. I mean, they just got to come together and truly make a real deal. You know what I'm saying? If it's a genuine thing, they should be able to make a deal with it without it hurting anybody.
Exactly. Everybody should want integrity with the voting, no matter which side you're on. So Doc said, but sending out the ballots to all registered votings without asking for them is bad. That is kind of a thing.
That's horrible.
But they do that in other countries, though.
No, they don't.
Combat gerrymandering and shit.
Yeah, you see, and that's the thing. Like, that's where they were able to really come out on top, because they could just they could send it to some of these people have multiple addresses, and if they really kind of like playing the game like that, they can vote as one person 3, 4, 5 times, because they have some of them have some of them have homes in California, one have in DC, and these are addresses that they could all legally vote at, but I mean, even for like that's just the people who are like legally live here. We've had millions of people who just cross the border that think that they can, like, shoot, they probably done went through a lot of different stuff and got what you call it, socials and ID cards.
How's it going? It's good.
So I mean, the main thing is to be able to stop stuff like that. I think it's a no nonsense. Like, it's like prove me wrong type of thing. Prove me wrong that this doesn't have an effect on like, it's more beneficial to the Democrats at this point. They're the ones that's supposed to get credit for all these illegals coming in for all year long. A lot of people gonna, be like, oh yeah, we need this fool in here so we can get more shit. I can get cousin such and such and this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? So if they here and they can vote, whether it's legally or illegally, it's just, I don't know. It's a lot to it, man. I know that everybody's trying to get there, trying to make it more beneficial.
Hello and welcome to Redacted
party,
Tonight.
but
You ever saw the channel Redacted Tonight?
The who?
The YouTube channel Redacted Tonight. It's pretty funny. I'm trying to find a good video, but this one seems interesting. December 16th.
VIP, I'm Naomi Caravani, and we have a great show for you today. Today on our show, contributor to the Black Agenda Report and the co-host of the This Is Revolution podcast, Haitian-American writer Pascal Robert, joins us to talk about the relationship between Haiti and the U.S. and the Black political class in the United States. This summer, the nation of Haiti made a quick entrance and exit from the international stage, at least as it was covered by mainstream American media, with the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse. But a contentious political situation in Haiti, in which the United States plays a critical role, has continued to unfold. So we discuss that with Pascal. And after that, we talk about how the Black political class serves corporate interests rather than the Black population in America. Welcome, Pascal. Thanks for joining us. So let's start talking about Haiti a little bit. So for many Americans, the only thing we've heard about Haiti over the past few years has been the assassination of Jovenel Moïse, the president. So how has the political situation changed since in Haiti?
Well, the political situation in Haiti is rather problematic because what has happened is that with the political vacuum that has happened in the Jovenel Moïse assassination, you have the current situation in which basically gangs that have been in action prior to Moïse's assassination have proliferated in terms of their power and controlling the terrain on the area, and there still has not been an effective date chosen for when there would be an election to replace Moïse, and there's contestation within the current administration in terms of allegations of some people actually being participants in his assassination or having roles in that assassination. So unfortunately, there's a bit of a chaos on the ground in the country. And one of the things that's even most notable is that the emissary that was sent by the U.S. State Department, Daniel Foote, stated that one of the problems that he had with the way in which the transition was being orchestrated in Haiti was that the United States was seeming to have too much interest in having a heavy hand in deciding exactly who the players would be politically and trying to orchestrate the political destiny of the country, which has been a problematic reality for Haiti for quite a while, particularly since the U.S. occupation that spanned from 1915 to 1934. And that basically Haitian presidents have always kind of been working at the behest of the U.S. State Department. Largely, oftentimes, if they were not doing so, they were removed because of their unwillingness to, be in accordance with those demands.
Yeah, it's interesting. Also, yesterday, the New York Times had an article about Moïse perhaps had a list of people that he was going to be naming that were involved in illicit drug trafficking, and a lot of people were implicated in it. Perhaps even the former president, Martelly. So yeah, let's get into the range of actors that are implicated in the assassination as the investigation unfolds. It looks like DEA informants were involved, the Colombian military, the Haitian business elite. And of course, it's no secret that Moïse was unpopular. There were protests for years before that. But yeah, let's talk about that network of power that's determining Haiti's future, which the U.S. is involved in.
One of the things that must be understood is that Haiti as a country, as in most countries, has an oligarchy. I think the thing that distinguishes the Haitian oligarchy is that the degree in which they control the overall economic activity in the country is so extensive, I would say almost 85%. And they kind of work as a kind of buffer class within Haitian society in that most of them, in terms of their ethnic origins, are not really Haitian. They are either Syrian, Lebanese, some of them are European, and they tend to have an outlook that does not necessarily root itself in the best interest of the country, but instead roots itself more so in their economic prerogatives. And one of the consequences of that is that in terms of the services that they render to the Haitian government, they tend to extract rather heavy fees and levies for their services to the Haitian government. They end up actually being a disadvantage to the government. What started to happen with Jovenel Moïse is that he became somewhat aware of the fact that the Haitian oligarchy was not exactly a good dealer in terms of business with Haiti as a nation state, and he wanted to find ways to either pressure them to perform more amicably with the Haitian government, or seek outside foreign competitors to displace them as the businessmen of record in the country. So he was, for example, considering going to Turkey and other countries and trying to execute memorandums of understanding with them. And his desire to expose the rather parasitic relationship that they had with the country economically was one of the things that started to cause a lot of tension between him and that class. And what tends to happen in that situation is that there comes to be an internal vying for power between those two forces. And it is pretty much suggested by not only people within the Haitian political class, but even mainstream media sources that believe that the assassination of Jovenel Moïse was something that was orchestrated high up by certain individual members of the Haitian oligarchy who were particularly being pressured by the Moïse administration for their economic dealings with Haiti, and the capacity of them using foreign assassins or other individuals to actually carry out the act is a matter of them simply being able to pay for those services and having it done. So there is no question, I think, generally speaking, in the consciousness of most Haitians that certain members of the Haitian oligarchy definitely had a role in the assassination. The question becomes, were there members of Jovenel Moïse's administration that were participating? And there were also questions of conflicts that he had with the prior administration that had tapped him as well, because he was trying to set up a competitor to succeed him in his administration also. So these were all, many varying issues and questions that were circulating that have caused people to basically come to the conclusion that there were very powerful economic forces in Haiti that had an interest in having Moïse assassinated, and that they very much may be behind the actual pulling of the trigger. And as the New York Times piece that I'm very well aware of mentioned, many of these actors have a reputation of being affiliated with drug cartels and importing or using Haiti as a drug kind of embarkment point. So I definitely don't see that as an impossibility at all by any stretch of the imagination.
So how about a little speculation for a second? Do you think that the assassins or whoever is behind the assassination will be brought to justice, or they're just too powerful?
That's a very, very good question, and I'll be very transparent. I do not, my personal belief is that the actual ultimate decision makers in the assassination of Jovenel Moïse will not be eventually found. And I will say not only because they are too powerful, because the individuals who would have been able to greenlight the assassination of a Haitian president are also people who would definitely have connections to U.S. State Department interests as well, and possibly have worked in relationship to those powers. And I do not think that the United States will be interested in seeing those individuals implicated in such an act.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see this investigation unfold, because it looks like they have some suspects, but those suspects just don't seem powerful enough to have made this happen. But let's move on to...
Yeah, so... yeah, Jovenel Moïse, man, that just shows, what's really happening in the world. That's the reason why I be pointing that shit out, because if you want to understand what the hell is really going on, you can go over there and look at Haiti, and that'll help you understand what's really happening. You know what I mean? Behind the politics, behind all the words. You know what I mean?
Talking about the power of your people.
Yeah, the people. Yeah, what they doing and how they do it, how they move. It's all right there in front of your eyes if you just look at it. You know what I mean? And just use common sense. But when you go through these talking heads, when you listen to them, then you get confused. And that's what they want. They want you to be confused and not really know what the fuck is going on.
Yep, not a thing.
And meanwhile, they're doing it right in front of your face, and then they're laughing at you. Like you should be able to see. Just is common knowledge, bro.
For a lot of us, but for others, that's not common at all.
It's just one other video I want to play before I wrap it. It's about homelessness, the 10 years of homelessness, and
10 years ago.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think in 10 years did the homeless increase, or did the homeless decrease, or did the homeless stay the same? And basically, wait, let me answer it this way. In 10 years, do you think the amount of homeless children has increased, decreased, or stayed the same? What do y'all think?
My opinion is it probably increased.
Yeah. And how much wealth has the US gained over these 10 years? You know, how much more wealthier are we than we were 10 years ago overall? Basically a lot more wealthier. And there's more, and basically, like you said, there's going to be fewer. I'm going to speed him up because he talks slow.
In December of 2011, there was a great deal of wringing of hands, of noting in the holiday season the extraordinary problem of homelessness in the United States, and in particular, homelessness among children. The National Center on Family Homelessness reported something on the order of 1.6 million children 10 years ago homeless in the United States. We had thought we had emerged from the great economic crash of 2008 and 9, but we were still struggling with a homelessness, and there were many declarations that it could be, it must be, it would be addressed as a basic problem incompatible with what the United States as a system took itself to be. 10 years ago was also when we began Economic Update, the weekly radio and television program that has been in continuous production ever since. It was a difficult decision to start it. We had minimal resources. We have grown beyond our wildest hopes and dreams, let alone expectations. Our audience now numbers in the hundreds of thousands that we know about, that sign up with us through YouTube and so on, plus the millions that have access to this program every week. We are stunned, we are amazed, and we are energized by this kind of interest, this kind of support. It literally enables us to do what we do. We partner with you and you with us, and the result for us for sure is an enormously supportive framework. But let me return for a moment to what the 10 years have meant to the problem of homelessness for children in the United States. I have to report to you that the problem was not solved. I have to go further and tell you the problem isn't being solved. It is, in fact, getting worse. The same National Center for Family Homelessness now reports not 1.6 million children, but 2.5 million children. That's right. That's a measure of how much worse. And since we are now experiencing record evictions across the United States, the problem is going to be getting even worse. And I want to speak to you about the significance, not about the personal pain for these families, which you can all imagine every bit as well as I can. I want to make a comment as an economist. One of the basic things any economic system must do, by which it is evaluated by the people who live in it, is whether it can provide decent food, clothing, and shelter to all of its people. 2.5 million children homeless in the United States is a failure of American capitalism. That it has gotten worse over the last 10 years when extraordinary wealth has been accumulated in this country, when the likes of Jeffrey Bezos, Elon Musk, and all the record have become popular icons of gross wealth. The other side of that coin, 2.5 million homeless children. It is a scandal. And the solution is easy. You either have to bring down the cost of housing or raise the income of the people who need it. One or the other, or both. They are well within our reach. we have more than enough wealth to take care of it. If half the wealth of the super rich, the few hundred billionaires, were removed to take care of this problem, they'd all still be the richest people in the country. A few billion more or less for them doesn't matter. This is a reality. Are we honest enough to face it, to admit it, to talk about the solutions? Well, that's one of the things Economic Update is all about. And we want to continue. We just want to reach even more people so that we can shape the conversation.
Anyways, what you think about that? Doc says the composition and definition of homeless is different from 10 years ago. Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically, I'm homeless.
Yeah.
But
I can agree with your argument, Doc, but you know, the overall point of it is, you know, 2.5 million children homeless. Like, regardless of what the composition or the definition of homeless is, if it's 2.5 million kids that don't have no home, obviously, or don't have a place to live, to sleep at night, that's a huge problem in the United States and what's supposed to be the richest, greatest country in the world. And this is not necessarily a racial thing, because this is everybody's, you know, this is our community's children with nowhere to sleep at night. And like the guy said, we have the means to fix this problem. It doesn't have to be this way.
Just a little bit of focus.
He says changes in homelessness counting in 10 years. Illegal alien children are now estimated included. Professional homeless is up 200%. People that work in transitory drivers and migrant laborers are counted. Homeless by choice is now counted. That still doesn't matter. Those, like, all of those stats don't really mean anything to me, because that's like pointing away from the problem of the reality that we see these people. You know, you drive to work, or whatever, you see people living under the bridge, you see tents and whatnot. You know, every major city has this problem in America anyways. But it's funny, you know, if you compare the United States to other countries, as rich as we are, we have more homeless than a lot of other countries do, just like our prisons. He says, I'm not saying it's not a serious problem that needs to be addressed, but the numbers are inflated, create fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Yeah, but you don't have to look at the numbers. You could feel the pressure of it when you have to pay your rent every month, and you know you're worried about it. If you get laid off of your job and you gotta pay your rent, we all on the edge of that shit. That is the issue, you know. We shouldn't let anybody fall that far. No one should fall to the point where they have nowhere to sleep at night. No one. Even the ones that have made bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. We should allow no one to fall that far.
As long as they're willing to take the accountability, huh?
He said, I have sat amongst them, talked to them, drank with them, heard their stories. A surprising amount of them are there by choice. Well, trying to get away from this crazy ass, retarded ass system, running the on the rat race, you know. I mean, the stress, is that a choice? Is that making a choice, really? Because you are choosing to, you know, not be on the treadmill, you know what I'm saying, all day, every day. You know. He said, I lived as one of them for almost a full year. Well, I feel for you, man. And that's what I'm saying.
I did the same.
It happens. It's a thing. So we should have systems set up for stuff like this. Places people can go take a shower. You know, it's really easy. You know, bathrooms for them. You know, community centers, places they can go to charge their phones, look for jobs. You know, they'll say all this stuff is out there, but it's not really, because these people get turned away from everywhere they go to.
Well, you know, it still boils down to what kind of money you can come up with. And they're not going to prioritize you as a client.
So we should pay for their choice not to take accountability. Yes, we should take care of our neighbors. We really should. I mean, that's as simple as that. We pay for it anyways. When they get sick and go to the ER and they go to the emergency room and they get all of these surgeries and stuff, guess who's paying for that?
They might get a bill for a couple of years, but then if they don't pay it, they never have it, then it gets written off.
And taxes, inflation eats that. The money never goes, you know, it always has to come from somebody's got to pay that bill.
Yeah.
He says, I use those resources to get on my feet. We don't have enough. We need to have more support. We shouldn't have nobody living under the bridge. No one. You should have some kind of housing for these people. Somewhere that's safe. It's not safe for them under there.
Especially if they're out in the cold like that.
They can get robbed. They can get raped. They can freeze to death. They can drown in the flood, fly away in a tornado. We should have no people out there.
Riding off the road was enough to hear for me.
He says there are genuine people in need, but many of them literally choose to live under the bridge.
Yeah, because some of them have noticed how fake real people are. Just try to stay away from them. Do its own thing.
We're not supposed to be on this damn hamster wheel anyways, so I don't judge them for that. I can't do it myself. I cannot see myself out there, but I don't judge them, you know. This fucking hamster wheel that we're on sucks. Sucks ass. It sucks. So, you know, I'm gonna scroll Instagram for a little bit, and then we're probably gonna wrap it. See what's on here. I'll be making audio clips of all this stuff, so I take the best parts. Have you checked out any of the audio clips? I sent you one the other day.
Did you?
I think I did. I'm pretty sure. It might have been a week ago.
I'm gonna go back in and look at it.
Yeah, because I make audio clips. I like them. I think they're pretty cool, man. And, you know, they're perfect for listening while you're doing other stuff, while you're driving, while you're, you know, walking or whatever the hell else you're doing, like doing another thing while you just kind of like listen to the audio clips. I think it's pretty cool. That's the direction I want the show to be in. Like, and I really focus on the production of those, and I want to get them better and better and better. So I take bits from our live show and I make them into those audio clips. Let's hear that. Let's hear this. I think it's gonna be funny.
Whatever my sisters wear, when all my sisters did, I try to do those things. So at first I said to myself, oh no, I did that. So I ain't just doing the things that I did.
That nigga gay, nigga gay, nigga gay, nigga gay.
You know, as kids, I used to put on heels. I used to do all those things. I try to put on whatever my sisters wear. When all my sisters did, I try to do those things. So at first, I said to myself, "Oh no, I did that. So I ain't just doing the things that I did."
That nigga gay.
You know, it's
That's hilarious. The Ninja Game.
Oh, that's an iconic ass photo right there. Damn it.
Red Fox and
Yeah, and what's her name?
I forget her.
Nina Simone. Nina Simone.
Oh, okay, somebody different.
Yeah, that's an epic ass photo right there. That dude was so cool, man. Waitress, you want?
Grew up around a bunch of pimps.
It says, waitress, you want a kid's meal with 20 chicken nuggets and a toy? Me at age 30. Correct, madame. So you say Red Fox grew up around a bunch of pimps? I don't know his history that much.
He might be a little bit older than Malcolm X, but him and Malcolm X used to run together.
Yeah.
The streets of Detroit. So, you know, Detroit, Gary, Chicago, all those those towns was popping at one time for everything.
Let's read a little bit of Doc's comments. He said, wait, can y'all hear me? It says, plug. It says there's a homeless camp downstairs 2 blocks from a half-empty shelter. I don't know. People probably don't feel safe. They need to make it so where people feel safe enough to go there.
Yeah, but it's not always about the
same
safety.
way
I mean,
you did until I spend time in their world. And
I don't know if it's always. I don't think it's always about the safety, because some of them are happy to be right where they are. Some of these places, I mean, sounds weird to even say it, but it's true.
He says, believe me, my friends, I felt the same way you did until I spent time in their world. And the homeless are being used by the dealers to acquire opiates. They fill a van, go to a strip dock, and when they fill it, they get some cash or some of the pills. Well, that's why we're here, to educate the people so people can know what the hell is really going on out here.
Indeed.
So I can't argue with stuff like that.
I'm not on my job tonight.
Yeah, man. The clip, yeah, that's the one I sent you too. When we was arguing about the what we was talking about, taxes or something like that, having to do with taxes and shit. And it was a clip in there that's pretty funny because Deuce came in and he was like, yeah, Chaka must have been playing devil's advocate because that shit's stupid than the motherfucker. Because that's when you was complaining. You was like, somebody come save me, bro. Somebody.
Yeah, Deuce was like, yeah, I don't see how you're missing it, Chaka. So he must be playing devil's advocate.
Yeah. I got to do
What
it.
kind of charger?
I got to do it.
I didn't bring it in the house, but if you want to go grab it out of the car, that's fine. Hold on a second. I'll be right back.
All right.
It's that citrus when your baby smile for me. It's that fuck me with the camera on for me. It's that bullshit. If you let it go, shit. It's for me. It's everything for me.
Peace, family. Peace, peace. Peace, family. Hey, how y'all doing? My vibes are high. Listen, this is just a message for everyone who has ordered from me recently. I just shipped off a huge shipment. I just sent off a huge shipment, and I probably won't be putting the tracking numbers in until tonight. So by tomorrow morning, I would say check your emails if you've been waiting for a package so you can get your tracking number, and, you know,
No, I don't want. I didn't order anything, and I don't want to get the tracking number. Yeah. Anyway, he said when my man starts sounding like my dad. Oh, this is a cool looking pig. Is the sound stupid? Sound is always stupid in these hoes. Damn it, look at that picture. That's great right there. It's fantastic. Wow. Really cool. Vantage point. What do I say all the time? Like your perspective. Perspective right there. Wait a minute, let me go back. Do they have more stuff? What is this? Earth Picks. I saw this video earlier. That shit is loud. I don't know how to turn the volume down on that. Well, it's loud to me. I don't know if it's loud to y'all. Whenever I play that stuff, it's always really loud, and there's no volume control in here. It's just like volume on and volume off. I don't have a meter. Art is cool. Thinking about when Cat Williams said they brainwashed y'all into believing there's 24 hours in a day, so you all agree to give them 8 hours a day at the job. If it's 24 hours a day, then what the fuck is night? They don't tell you it's only 12 hours in a day because then you wouldn't give them 8.
Mm-hmm. I remember that. Well, that's off the new one, huh?
What?
The new special.
What are you talking about?
I saw the new special. Anyway, it was the new Cat Williams special.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't see it.
World War III.
I ain't see it. How does he look? Does he look healthy?
Yeah, I mean, looks fine to me.
I'd be worried about that brother. He's really smart. And people that with that kind of intelligence are mentally unstable and tend to have like addiction problems. This post says the woman on the left failed to stop for a school bus, resulting in killing 3 children. She got 4 years in prison. The man on the right killed 4 people when the brakes on his semi went out and was unable to stop, and he got 110 years in prison. Okay, yeah, they're still talking about that guy. That dude is viral.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it should be no 100-something years. I mean, unless they, he's drunk or high on some bullshit, they just want to make sure they gonna keep him off the road from. He done killed somebody else in the truck before, or in any instance where he's killed people before from vehicular homicide. Like, there's really no reason to stretch out a penalty on him that's worse than anybody else with a similar crime. I know some people that was drunk and killed somebody in a vehicular homicide. I think they got like maybe 3 years, 4 years, something like that.
Oh, this is the page I was trying to think of the other day. No wonder her name is really weird. That's why I couldn't remember it.
Redson.
Like, oh my fucking God.
That's crazy.
Oh my fucking God. NBA Youngboy been in the I'm putting you to sleep. He says, oh shit. Your chat room controls or sound mixer might have an external input streaming volume control depending on your setup software. I don't know what the hell, because I'll be having sound issues. I ain't gonna lie, I could stay on this chick's page all day. Not gonna lie to y'all.
I woke up a little bit.
I don't know how to go back now. They're making me go back through the whole fucking. Yep. Yep, I can stay on that page. I was thinking about something. Oh, the comments. He said, I agree for reasonably harsher penalties for DUI when on the job for rigs, public transport, pro drivers, including rideshare and delivery drivers. But this 100 years hoop is ridiculous.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could stay on that chick's page forever. Anyways, man, so are you heading back home yet?
I have not left Austin yet. I'm be leaving out in the morning or early afternoon because we got a few things to take care of.
See, shit like that could be like an NFT. Damn, that's some spooky looking shit. It's too fucking loud. That's cool fucking looking shit. Picking some kind of berries. What are they? I love growing fruits and vegetables and flowers and shit. Oh, the damn bird think that's a snake. It's a mushroom. Fucking looks like a snake though. What are they saying? Evolution. Is there a reason why that? Oh, let me shit. Does the mushroom benefit from the damn bird kicking it? Let's see. I hope they got a comment. Nope. Whatever. I guess it's another NFT. Those NFTs are crazy. Well, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but dang, you ain't gonna let me talk? Dang, this a big step for me. You feel me? But at the end of the day, that was a lot of work. You hear me? A lot of work, because I could have did anything else. But I decided to do that. You feel me? Hey, go ahead. Go on. That's why I record. You feel me? I have to show you off. You hear me? Yeah, you know that rapper. On my soul.
Honey, what's this?
So ain't no gift cards.
What is this? You always
It's a Chanel ribbon with the with some folders on it. What's up? I want to check it out, baby girl.
Daniel, what is this?
I want to check it out. You gonna love it. You gonna love it. On my soul. You know the vibes already.
The gas bill.
Yeah, you should know already. That's the gas bill. What it say? You gotta open it. You gotta open it, baby girl. You capping.
It just says pay.
Exactly. Now open up that light bill right there and that cable bill. Open up all that. Guess what it's gonna say? Guess what it's gonna say? Condo. What it's gonna say? Paid. You worry about the wrong stuff, baby girl. You want this stuff, and you got stuff you gotta handle. You feel me? We need things paid for. How you want this bed, but ain't nothing paid for? You still paying on your car. You still need assistance, and you want a Chanel bag? Girl, you better chill on my soul. But at the end of the day, don't get mad at me. Why you doing it now? So you have to be big man like that. Because at the end of the day, you get snail bad, but you're gonna be living on the streets. That $2,000 you feel me, ain't gonna get you nowhere to live. That's why I said you gotta be cool. Come on, man. Them bills paid for. Guess what? Now we can live. On my soul. Yeah, I know it's all right. It's gonna be all right. Matter of fact, look up a job. That's what you need to be looking up. Job near me. That's what you need to be looking up.
Hey, what you think about that?
While I was listening, but sounds like some comedy. Like people really, I don't know.
Damn, Red Blue Pill got a. Do they have a podcast?
He's creating
Yeah,
She
Know the
thought-
List.
a corner. I'm embracing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You never
I'ma
heard
let
Know the
it,
List?
You know what I'm talking about? I done put down. That's why you have artists who have followed.
But it's not on YouTube.
Yes, it is.
Work
Oh.
ethic.
Tupac
in
of
the
my
formula.
generation.
It's on
Yeah,
YouTube,
that's it.
Instagram.
You're right.
The NBA young boys.
Yeah.
I don't
continue
think
to create.
Facebook.
creating
I know it's
children.
on
He's
Instagram
creating-
and
he's creating catalogs of music.
YouTube.
He knows that that music is going to feed those children. It doesn't matter how many he has. So in the corner, I'm embracing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let.
Reset, restart, refocus as many times as you need to. Just don't quit. Doc says she's pretty, but pretty gets boring after a few weeks of being pleasantly exhausted. I don't know. I want to know what that kind of boredom feels like right now in my life. Yeah, I want to get to the point where I'm bored with some beautiful chick. Yeah, I want to know what that feels like right now in my life. Damn, that shit is loud. Lord, 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 Lord. Like I say, I want to be bored of that chick right there that I was just playing. What is Plies? This nigga sweating.
Ladies, I don't want no motherfucking sweater this year for Christmas. No motherfucking sweater. All this motherfucking pressure I've been getting you for 12 motherfucking months. And here you come with a motherfucking sweater. I don't want no motherfucking sweater. Show me what this dick mean to you. A motherfucking sweater. Stop my motherfucking workout just to get on here and
Freaking Plies is funny as fuck. That's why I follow that nigga. Dr. Boyce Watkins, never believe that a person is gossiping about everybody except you. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. I think I'm gonna play the game and try to relax. I'm gonna get me a bottle tomorrow. I gotta get my tire fixed on my car. It's making some weird little noise. I'm kind of concerned. I'm gonna take it to a tire shop in the morning and see what's up with that before I go to work. Nicki Minaj on GTA. The new GTA is crazy. It's got Dr. Dre had something to do with it. He's in the game. I think they made some original music and shit for her too. It says not liking someone because they're in a different organization is weird. Seek help immediately. That's what I be saying. What is he talking about?
Now, and that video game has real people in it that are.
Fucking music is too loud. I'm not gonna play it. Anyways, I think I'm gonna wrap it, y'all. I'm putting all y'all to sleep and shit. I'm gonna get better. Today is Friday. Tomorrow is Saturday. Oh yeah, I want to talk about.
In my case, it's not you. It's just hell. I've been up since driving since like 2 a.m. yesterday, and I drove up to like 2 o'clock this afternoon. I had a full day. That's all.
Yeah, I want to talk about esoteric stuff for the next show. I want to talk about like what if I said circling the square or squaring the circle, what would that mean to you?
Well, probably wouldn't mean much, but like I guess based on what I've seen before, it means like now, like something might pick up out of the backyard. I don't know, like when you finish, you start just start something and finish it, like go around the. Repeat it how it goes, like go around the.
Yeah, because I always say things backwards, so that's why I don't know if I'm saying it right. So I always say it both ways because it's like circling the square or squaring the circle. Either one. Doc said, check out Araco TV on YouTube. His She Belongs to the Streets are funny. Actually, a lot of them are funny and about entitled women getting shut down. I like the dancer. She's got more than I'm pretty vibes. Which one was he talking about? The dancer. Probably the tick. Oh, yeah. The one that I played a minute ago. Yeah. Yeah, I like personality too. I have to be able to talk. I'm talking all that shit, but I have to be able to talk to them. If we can't have a conversation, then it says no one who had the polio, chickenpox, Hep B, or influenza jab ever worried about someone not jabbed giving them the disease. Stupidity started it in 2021. Like people just don't even use their brains like at all. They just go by whatever the people say. This dude is driving a little bitty ass car in traffic. And it looks like it's cold outside. I'll get up to the window and they're gonna be like, we can't serve you, man. Come inside or some shit. Anytime Hillary Clinton.
So they're not prosecuted. When you have the man that set up the illegal, you have.
Hold on, let me go back.
You have your staff taking the Fifth Amendment, taking the Fifth, so they're not prosecuted. When you have the man that set up the illegal server taking the Fifth, I think it's disgraceful. You have your staff taking the Fifth Amendment.
Whatever. I thought they was gonna do something funny. He says, why are humans so unhappy? Because they stigmatize sex and normalize greed. Oh shit. I'm finna wrap it. Cause I'm kind of tense. Play the game and try to relax. I should have got me some cake. I might go to the corner store, I ain't gonna lie.
Red flag.
I want some cake. Anyways, y'all. didn't put Pat to sleep. I hope y'all enjoyed the 2.5 hours of content we was able to create for y'all. But I'm gonna wrap it though. I want to talk about esoteric, the divine feminine tomorrow.
Yeah, do that.
And we'll talk about history and some current events. Sounds good.
I'm in.
And of course, I'll scroll on Instagram because that's what I think it's pretty cool. I was watching one of the videos earlier today because I only watch the stuff when I'm editing it. I don't be watching the videos, but and like us talking and then like the Instagram feed kind of just like a whole nother thing. Like you can listen. We're talking about serious subjects and then like random memes go by the screen. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. But for a person like me, I'll always be trying to do more than one thing at a time. That's the only way I'm entertained. So I think that if we could be like talking about a serious subject and then have some random shit on the screen, it will people's mind can be doing more than one thing at a time. Or they're half the audience will be reading the screen, the other half is listening to us. I don't know.
Yeah, and part of us just needed to have at least 2 or 3 hours of sleep to make it to the other side.
All right, man.
Yeah, nah,
Well, get you some rest, man.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that. Not long from now. But I apologize for my bad behavior.
That's the chick that shot Dante, right?
Hey,
Look,
this
shit is in the news now because that's the one who she thought she pulled a taser. I think this is the chick, yeah. Thought she pulled the taser, but she pulled the gun and she shot the guy. Let me start this over.
Remember yelling. We were trying to keep him from driving away. It just went chaotic. And then I remember yelling, "Taser, taser, taser," and nothing happened. And then he told me I shot him.
Okay. That's enough of that.
Yeah. Sounds like another Rittenhouse event.
Very similar. I was thinking the same thing. He said the gear shift allows for returning to other topics with a fresh mind. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, let's wrap it, bro. Peace and love. Thank y'all for being here. Doc says exactly why the police need to be trained to reach for their tool belt as a first option. Right. If you use a hammer to solve all your problems, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes the hammer is not going to work. You know what I mean? You can't use a hammer for all your problems. Sometimes you need other tools. But they love to reach for their pistol. Anyways, peace and love, y'all. Thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for being here. I'm going to wrap it. Get you some rest, Pat. You're going to be on the show tomorrow, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. I'm going to broadcast for sure. It might be a little bit late. Well, it'll probably be around the same time as today.
All right. Well, yeah, just let me know what time. I'll be rested and ready to go.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot for like 12:45, 12:50.
All right. That's cool.
All right, y'all. Peace and love. Y'all have a good one.
You too, man.
All right.